Okay, so this video, the class 11 science worldview. Okay, so we're going to science system. This is the part of class 11 CBSE syllabus. And let's get started. So make sure to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. It helps a lot. Okay, so what is a computer? A computer is a that accept data, process the data, store information, and produce a meaning. A computer is basically a device which helps us to do our tasks easier. It accepts the data as in, then it is going to process the data in the central processing unit, and it will going to store the information in hard drive, and it will going to produce the meaning out. Computer means mainly having two parts. One is hardware. The physical electrical components of the computer is known as a hardware. Next, we are having software. These are the recorded instructions and programs we need to. Let's take some example of the hardware. Let's say you use 5 minutes. So this is an example of hardware. The way in which it is rendering the output or programming behind it is the software. Computer components are basic organization. This is the main critical diagram in CBSE. From this, many questions might arrive. Even the diagram may be asked to draw. At first, we are having input unit and output unit. In the between, it is a full control. Among this big box, you are having control unit. From this, we are going to have arithmetic logical unit, internal memory, and outside main memory and second storage will be interactive between ALU and internal memory. Control unit is the parent box, whereas ALU and internal memory is the child box, which is interacting constantly with main memory and secondary storage. You may see that the red lines are the data path and the blue lines represent the control path. Control unit is controlling the control system. It also takes over the secondary and main storage and stored in ALU and internal memory. Whereas data is being transferred to ALU, internal memory, main memory, and secondary storage, and vice versa. Next, we are having input unit. Input unit is formed by the input device attached to the computer system. The input unit is responsible for taking the input and converting the understand. All inputs are consist of data as well as instruction. Let's say we are talking. This is a headphone that I am using. So this headphone is having a mic which is taking in my audio, processing it and giving output to my recording studio. So what happens is that this input unit is always to be attached by computer because without attachment it cannot work. It can be wireless or wired. It is already responsible to take the input of the user and convert it into computer understandable code. Let's say we are going to type hello world. Now the computer cannot understand the English language, but it can process it into binary. So by pressing that key, it will send signal of this particular letter code. Next, we are having the output unit. The output unit is formed by the output device attached to the computer system. The output coming from the computer system is in the form of electronic binary signal, the conversion into some form which can be easily readable. Let's take the example of our monitor. Whatever we are typing is processed by the computer raw code. After this raw code, the output will going to come and that output will require something so to the user. For this, a monitor is required which converts the binary digit into analog or into the electric signal and then goes out the out. Next, we are having central processing unit. Central processing unit, it is the main part of the system. It is also known as the brain of the computer as it guides, directs, control and governs the functions of a. You may think it like this is a brain of the computer. It helps to do many of the work easily. The subparts of the working CPU which are as follows. Their main three parts. As shown in the diagram, the previous one, let's see. In this one, you can see that the diagram has three different parts. Control unit, arithmetic logical memory, and internal memory. Now, first is arithmetical and logical unit. ALU stands for arithmetic and logical unit. Is very important. It performs all the arithmetic and logical operations. The numbers are sent from the memory and then to ALU, where the operation is performed and later. It helps to do the basic mathematical work. Let's say I want to do 1 plus 1, it will going to proceed with that and then gives the output of 2. Control unit CU stands for the computing. It controls and guides interpretation and manipulation of all data and information. CU sends control signals until the required operation are done properly by the ALU and memory. Another important function of the CU is the program execution. Let's say that we are having traffic signals. Traffic signals, there are police present. The police are helping guide to the roads to the busy narrow street. Like that way, only the computer also get help of the computer to take particular actions regarding what they want. Next, we are having is register. Register or processor register are the smallest unit holding place. The CPU uses register to temporarily some processing information during the time the processing takes. The CPU may store some part of data and memory address or some instruction in processor register. So these are the very small units of the chunks that are holding the data. Like this in this diagram you may see these are the chunks cell 0, cell 1, cell 2 and this is the entire memory cell. So this is used to hold the data for temporary. Let's say about RAM. RAM is a perfect example of the registers. Nowadays registers are replaced with RAM. But earlier time registers were very big in size and they were used. Next we are having the memory. The memory of a computer is more like a predefined bottlenecks, where it temporarily keeps information and data to facilitate its performance. Each memory location has its unique memory address. Memory is something that really requires because without it, it cannot work. Why? Because memory happens to hold the data. Without holding the data, the life cannot be easier. So let's see. When the task is performed, it clears its memory and memory space is then available for the next task to be performed. When the power is switched off, everything stored in the memory gets erased or cannot be recalled. Let's take out the example of RAM. If my computer shuts down due to some issue or due to lack of power, then the entire memory that is holding up by the RAM is lost. The memory of a computer can be thought of as cells. Each memory bit is a cell. As you can see in this diagram, 0, 1, 0, 0, 0, 1, 1, 0. Each are individual cell and each one cell is known as a bit. A bit means a binary digit which only represents two things. One, it is 0 and another is 1. These are being combined and then given their instruction to those combinations. Next, a bit is an element in the memory. 8 bits together made a byte. 1 bit, 8 bytes, 1 byte. 1024 bytes, 1 kilobyte, and like this the chain goes on. From binary digit byte, kilobyte, megabyte, gigabyte, terabyte, petabyte, exabyte, zettabyte. Parts of the main and primary memory. In a random access memory, the memory cells can be accessed for information transferred from any desired random location. The main drawback of RAM memory is that it is a volatile memory. That is, when the power goes up, the contents of RAM gets erased. As we see registers, as the power goes up, the data lost. Same thing as we told in the RAM. Now there are two types of RAM: dynamic and static. Dynamic one is made of a transistor and capacitor, whereas in the amount of time taken to produce the data, required from memory from the start of access until the availability of data is called memory access time. That means from the time that you have turned on the computer and the time till you shut down the computer, the memory will try to store as much as you need. That is known as the memory access time. Today, DRAM chips have access time ranging below 20 to 70 nanoseconds. This is most important part here in the syllabus. I don't mean syllabus, it means the chapter. Time competition may come in the exam. Next, we are having static RAM. These are made of flip-flops and offer faster access time, about 10 nanoseconds than DRAM. Static RAM are best used in specialized applications where dynamic RAMs are used in primary storage section of most of the computers. As we discussed already about the memory access time, the amount of time taken to produce data from the memory is known as the memory access time. This information is very important. Next, we are having ROM, read-only memory. It is a memory that reads the operation only. It does not have a write capability. It implies that the binary information stored in ROM is made permanent during the hardware production and unit and cannot be altered. Why it is read-only memory? Let's say your computer is having some issues regarding the BIOS. You want to reset it. So many of times you may hear that we need a pen drive to flash the firmware. What is that firmware? Firmware is a code that is stored in the ROM. If the ROM isn't present, then the computer might not boot up. It is restricted to reading, not writing, unless and until specialized tool is used. Still though, they are having different types of ROM. Programmable ROM, also known as OTP, one-time programmable. These are used using a special ROM bundle. Let's say earlier times modding games or the projectors. EPROM, erasable programmable, where you can write, also delete everything. It took 20 minutes for erasing the EPROM content. Then EEPROM, electric erasable programmable ROM. In this one, it is erased electrically, which is faster. Also, selective bytes can be erased unlike the EEPROM, which fully erases. You can program it. Let's say for the example in EEPROM, you might say Arduino. Why? Because Arduino is the programmable thing, and once you have wrote the code, every time you have to flash the thing into the ROM. But the main thing is that it doesn't update the old one. It entirely removes and puts a new ROM. Next, we are having flash EEPROM. It is like a EEPROM, but it is fast comparatively to the previous generation, and it is fully not selectively. So there are linked between EPROM and EEPROM, the flash one. Next, we are having max ROM. It's referred to a kind of the ROM which contains a program by the IC manufacturer. Let's say your microwave is having some specific software that is hard coded into it. Let's say the TV software through which you see is hard coded by the manufacturer. Specific answers, specific things. You cannot put one together with each other. That's why there are certain manuals or repair is been asked to do it. Storage unit. The computer needs to store and retrieve data for processing. Since the memory has a limited storage capacity and it is not permanent, secondary storage devices are used to store the large amount of data permanently. Okay. Next, we are going to look at some memory device. First one is a hard disk, which still runs but can is very slow. Then must be used as a flash memory or let's say SSD. Hard disk memory store information on one or more circular patterns. A disks which are continuously spinning. These rotating disks are coated with a magnetic material and stacked with a space between them. The information recorded on the surface of rotating disks by the magnetic head as tiny magnetic spots. You made a look at the diagram. There is a disk on top of the pin is there, which is used to scratch every time to write data or read the data. Next, we are having the flash memory. The flash drive is a small, ultra-portable storage device with solid-state memory. It can be carried. It's like a small pen or about the size of a thumb. It is not like an optical drive where it uses laser. It uses USB ports. Next, instead, it was in a way to RAM. The only difference is that it retains the data when it is off. RAM is also having similar features, but different. Right? The RAM cannot store memory, whereas this can store the memory. Compact discs. The compact discs or CD are optical media. These CDs are relatively cheap and have a storage capacity of up to 700 megabytes. There are three main types of CD. CD-ROM. It is made by manufacturer and cannot store data. Probably mostly used in the CD distribution. CD readable. It is used to retain marks and cannot be erased. Let's say we want to save a memory of our birthday photos in the CD. So one time you want to write and then the CD-RW, compact disc rewritable. This is an erasable disc and you can write anything you want on different time. Next same concept DVD is the super density disc SD. It is an optical storage device, look as the same as DVD and can hold 15 times more and transfer 20 times fast as a CD-ROM. DVD-ROM. DVD-ROM is the only DVDs which can be physically recorded but cannot be written. Okay. Here in this recordable, you may allow to write on the disc one at a time, but it can read as much as you want. And DVD rewritable is the DVD drive which can enable you to write too many times as much as you want. We are having Blu-ray discs. This is an important topic. Blu-ray disc is known as Blu-ray or BD. This is an optical disc storage media format. It is the uses in the high definition of the video and data storage. The disc has the same dimension as a standard CD or DVD. While the current optical disc technologies such as DVD, DVD plus minus R, DVD plus minus RW, and DVD RAM rely on a red laser to read the written data. This new format uses a blue violet laser instead, hence the name Blu-ray has came. The benefit is that blue violet laser 405 nanometer has a shorter wavelength than the red laser, which makes possible to focus the laser spot with even greater precision. Let's say you have used to play against you might see sometimes it got stuck. So that's why games use Blu-ray discs. It today still it is available and it uses at least 128 gigabits of data. You may feed too many data in it, and it mostly have the same size of CD and DVD, and it can compress the data more better. Next, we are having the system bus. System bus. What is this? The bus system bus is an electronic pathway composed of connecting cables and that connects the major components of the computer. The system bus data and instructions are passed among the computer system. The data guiding part of system bus is called as the data bus. The control instruction carrying part of the system is called the control bus. The memory address carrying part of the system address bus. The separate type of bus is called I/O bus connects the input and output and other external device to the system. Next, we are having a mobile process. Mobile CPU. Now let's get towards the mobile system organization. This is the diagram. This is not much important, but it's being that codec, ADC, DSC, power management, RF transceiver, SIM, communication processor. These all definitions, except the display subsystem support is not required. Only the display subsystem is required and camera unit is required. First, mobile processor, mobile CPU. This is the brain of a smartphone. As we know, as computer use, three type of sub-processor are there: communication standard unit, radio signal management unit, application processing. Communication processing unit helps to receive phone calls on a mobile handset or lets you to call someone. Okay. Next, radio signal management unit is responsible for connecting the SIM to the cellular network. Application processing unit, it helps to the government of the mobile system by running various type of mobile apps. Display subsystem, it is responsible for providing the display facility, touch sensitive interface and touch sensitive keyboard. Camera subsystem is designed to deliver tightly bound image processing packets enabled and improve overall picture and video experience. It helps you to process the quality of the image after being taken. It has an integrated signal processor for image which ensure things like instant image capture, higher resolution support, image stabilization and other image enhancement. Next we are having mobile system memory. It is a familiar technical setup as computers have enough two main things: RAM and ROM. Storage. Mobile system memory is very similar to the computer system memory. Only one thing is that the ROM is the main storage you may use. Storage. The storage of a mobile system is known as expandable storage, which can be expanded using SD cards. You may also use external hard drive. Power management system. This is the most important topic. This subsystem is responsible for providing power to a mobile system. The mobile system works on limited power provided to the attached battery unit. This subsystem has a battery management system that works with a battery charger and a battery unit and provides power to the mobile in a required form. Let's see at the software. The software represents a set of programs that govern the operation of a computer system and make the hardware run. Software can be classified into broadly two categories. Not two, I agree that wrong. System software, language processor, and application software. System software that controls the internal computer system, helps communicating input and output. Next, a language processor is a special type of computer that can help translate the source code into the machine code. Application software is a software that is necessary of our daily lives to carry out a specific application. Like I am using MS PowerPoint to render the output. Next, we are having operating system. It is a program which acts as an interface between user and hardware, as I told. Primary goal is to make computer system convenient to use, and secondary goal is to use the hardware in an efficient manner. Language processor. A language processor is a special type of computer software that can translate source code onto an object code or maintain code. Source code. The program code written by a programmer in high-level language, Python, Java, C++. Object code that is written usually in a machine language or binary. Three parts are there: assembler, interpreter, and compiler. Assembler processes the program written in assembly language into machine. Interpreter is a type of system software that translates the instruction written in a computer program line by line, unit by unit. Compiler is another type of system software that translates and executes instructions written in a computer program on one go. Assembly, sorry, interpreter, step by step, compiler on one go. So we have get the end of the chapter. So thank you for watching this video. Please like, share, and subscribe. And I will try my best to upload videos at every single week whenever I am going to get time. Bye.